Today I'm making a small rustic loaf of chocolate chip sourdough bread. Chocolate is one of my favorite inclusions in sourdough bread, and this one is so easy even if you're a beginner. You can use active sourdough starter or inactive sourdough discard. You don't have to time your feedings, you don't have to do those stretch and folds, you can even make this in the same day. This is a really simple sourdough method. I'm going to show you exactly how I make this step by step. The first ingredient that you're going to need for this easy chocolate chip sourdough bread is some sourdough starter. You can use active starter or sourdough discard, even discard that's been in your fridge for a couple weeks. That'll work just fine for this recipe. Now I'm using 85 grams or a third of a cup of sourdough starter. This is my classic sourdough starter Hester. I've had this sourdough starter going for years and years and years. This is a strong, mature, active sourdough starter. If you want to try mine, I have Hester freeze-dried and available on my website, robinonthefarm.com. So that's 85 grams of sourdough starter or discard, or a third of a cup. Now, after our sourdough starter, now it's time to add some water. Unchlorinated filtered water works best, so I use it straight out of my water filter. Mine is room temperature. Now I'm adding 200 grams or 3/4 of a cup of this room temperature water. If yours is a lot cooler, it can take yours a little bit longer to bulk ferment. If it's a lot warmer, it can go a little bit quicker. So that's a tip and trick right there. Now once you have your sourdough starter and your water in a big mixing bowl, use a spurtle or a wooden spoon to give it a good mix. This is really going to help us to incorporate our flour and our salt next. Now it's time to add our flour. I'm going to add 325 grams or 2.5 cups of flour. You can use all-purpose flour or bread flour. Either one will work just great in this recipe. I also make this recipe using fresh milled flour. So if you want to use fresh milled flour, use 325 grams of a hard wheat variety. After the flour, now it's time to add some salt. I love this Redmond's Real Salt. I use this in all of my baking and cooking. It's an unrefined, unprocessed, ancient sea salt from North America. But you can use any kind of salt that you want. White iodized table salt will work just fine, pink Himalayan sea salt. But the important thing is to get 8 grams or 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And that's already all of our ingredients, minus the chocolate chips for this chocolate chip sourdough bread. Now I'm going to add those later. Now it's time to give all of these ingredients a really good mix. Use a spurtle, a Danish dough whisk, anything that you want that's nice and sturdy and good for thick batters. You can also use a stand mixer for this part if you'd rather do that, if that's a little bit easier for you. Once you've mixed it up, stirred it up as well as you can with your spurtle or your spoon, ditch that and get in there with your hands. That'll really help you just to incorporate all of those dry patches of flour into your ball of dough. It may seem too dry at first, but this is going to totally change as it bulk ferments. So don't add any more water. This is exactly what it should look like at this stage. Once you've worked it with your hand just for a minute or two, you should have a nice shaggy ball of dough. This is perfect. Now it's time for the bulk ferment. For the bulk ferment, we're going to leave this dough in the bowl on the countertop at room temperature. We're going to cover it up with some saran wrap and leave it on the countertop. Now, you can let this go anywhere from 3 hours to 12 hours. You can let it go overnight. Let this work into your day. This is your bread, and this is a very forgiving, easy recipe. You're looking for your dough to expand in volume, become a little bit puffy. This typically happens a little bit quicker in the summertime or when your kitchen is warmer, and a little bit slower in the wintertime or when your kitchen is cooler. I'll show you this dough when it's ready to shape and add the chocolate chips. Every time I use my sourdough starter in a recipe, after I get that recipe all mixed together, then I like to feed my sourdough starter. So I figured I'd show you exactly how I do that. I keep about 50 grams of sourdough starter and I feed and maintain it. If I have more than 50 grams, then I don't throw it away. I keep it in the fridge in another jar, and that is my sourdough discard. So I keep a 100% hydration sourdough starter. That's a 1:1:1 ratio of sourdough starter to flour to water. I added 50 grams of my sourdough starter And now I'm going to add 50 grams of water. This is unchlorinated, filtered tap water. Once I get the sourdough starter and the water in my jar, then I like to use my spurtle and mix it up really well. This just helps you be able to mix in the flour much easier than if you try to mix all three together at once. Once that's mixed up really well, now it's time to add the flour. So I'm going to add 50 grams of unbleached bread flour. This is my classic sourdough starter Hester, so that's what I use. I also have a fresh milled flour sourdough starter, so for that one, I use fresh milled hard winter white wheat. That's my sourdough starter Millie. And I also have an organic fresh milled acorn sourdough starter made with the ancient grain acorn. And so I use acorn in that sourdough starter when I feed and maintain it. I find using a canning funnel when I add the flour to really cut down on the mess. Now I'm going to grab my spurtle again and mix up these three ingredients. You'll want to cover your sourdough starter, but you're never going to want to seal the jar. The active yeast produces gases like carbon dioxide that build up pressure and can cause the jar to explode. What a mess. So just cover it loosely. And that's all it takes to feed and maintain your sourdough starter. Now I'm just going to put this on my countertop, and I can use it again tomorrow, or I can put it in the refrigerator for a week or two, get it out when I'm ready to use it in a sourdough discard recipe like this one, or I can feed it and have it ready the next day to use in a recipe that calls for active sourdough starter. Now let's get back to our easy chocolate chip sourdough bread. My dough has been bulk fermenting on the countertop covered for about 8 hours. You can see that it's expanded in size. It's a little bit puffy. It is wintertime and it's rather cold in my kitchen. If it was warmer, it would be even puffier, bigger, but this looks great. Now it's time to add the inclusion. I added a half a cup of chocolate chips. I like milk chocolate chips, but you can use dark chocolate chips, semi-sweet, whatever you want. Now, this is essentially one set of stretch and folds. That's all it's going to take for this easy chocolate chip sourdough bread. You want to pull up on your dough, pull it up and over, and put it on the other side of your bowl. Then you just want to rotate your bowl. Do this several times, and you will feel your dough transform. It'll go from being very stretchy to very, very tight, and that is the gluten developing. And that's exactly what you want to do for this sourdough bread. That's going to give us structure, it's going to give you height, it's going to make you have a really gorgeous, tall loaf of sourdough bread. Now that this loaf is shaped, I'm going to leave it in the bowl, covered, and let it rest on the countertop for 1 hour. At the end of the hour, it'll be time to bake this bread, or you have the option of putting it into the refrigerator up to 3 days before you bake it off. I am ready to bake this sourdough bread. I did leave mine in the refrigerator just for a couple hours, just because it worked better into my day. But you don't have to put it in the refrigerator at all. But if you want to, you'll get more of a tangy sourdough taste the longer it's in the refrigerator. Now, I like to take my dough out of the bowl and put it right onto a dough sling. These dough slings are great. They make it so much easier to handle your dough. Get it out of your Dutch oven when it's so hot when it's done baking. I really like them. Now it's time to score our dough. I'm using this bread lawn, and when you score your dough, you're putting a slash in your dough, and it's a controlled expansion point. This will help your bread not to burst as it rises really quickly in the oven. The steam will escape through these slashes or these scores, and you'll get a prettier loaf of bread. You can make this really decorative and beautiful, or really simple like I do. Now, I like to do a cold bake. So my Dutch oven is cold, my oven is cold, and I'm going to put this dough inside of this cold Dutch oven. I also use a trivet when I bake sourdough bread in my Dutch oven. This just helps the bottom not to get burned, not to get too hard, not to get too crunchy. It really makes a huge difference. So I definitely recommend using a trivet. Now I just place my dough inside of my cold Dutch oven. I put the lid on, and then it's time to put this into the oven. I'm using a 5-quart cast iron Dutch oven. Now I put this into my cold oven, turning it on to 450 degrees and leaving it in there for 45 minutes. It's been 45 minutes, so now it's time to take the lid off. Doesn't it look so pretty? I love taking the lid off and getting a peek at what my bread's gonna look like. I'm reducing my oven temperature to 425 degrees. I'm going to let this brown up for 5 to 8 minutes. Our beautiful sourdough chocolate chip bread is done. I like to remove it from the Dutch oven immediately after getting it out of the oven and let it start to cool. It's really easy just to grab it out of that hot Dutch oven with the bread sling. Now take a look at the bottom. It's not burned. It's not going to be too crunchy or too browned. The bread sling and the trivet really makes a huge difference. Now I like to put it on a wire rack and let it cool completely just to be sure it's not gummy inside. Once my sourdough bread cooled completely, I stuck it in one of my beeswax bread bags. This is what I like to store my sourdough breads and all of my baked goods in. These are handmade beeswax bread bags that my daughters and I make. They're infused with a blend of organic beeswax and organic coconut oil, and they keep your sourdough crust the perfect texture. Now it's time to cut into this sourdough chocolate chip bread. I am excited about this. I love sourdough and I love chocolate. This combination is such a treat. This is always the moment where I kind of hold my breath and I hope that my sourdough turned out well. Oh, it looks perfect. It's not gummy inside, has a beautiful crumb, beautiful texture, just the right amount of chocolate spread throughout the entire loaf. I'll leave the printable recipe for this really easy chocolate chip sourdough bread down in the description and on my website, robinonthefarm.com. Be sure to check out our handmade beeswax bread bags while you're there. Thanks so much for being here with me on Robin on the Farm. I'll see y'all next time.
Robin's in the kitchen, dough beneath her hands, wheat from the fields and eggs from her land. Sunlight through the window, a warm golden glow. She's working hard to make that dough. With flour on her apron, loving each need.